Have you ever wondered what a dog on death row looks like? Well, this is Hope. She was an 11-month-old brindle mix that was scheduled to be euthanized due to severe human aggression. I'm going to share with you her story and where she is today. Hello and welcome. I am Cindy from Canine Goddess Professional Training, a certified trainer and behaviorist with over 20 years rehabilitating dogs just like Hope. Hope was a picture of fear and confusion during her time on death row. When I approached her kennel, she pressed herself tightly against the back wall as if willing herself to disappear. Her body was stiff, trembling. Her eyes were wide with a mix of terror and hurt. She avoided direct eye contact, her posture signaling a complete shutdown of trust and hope. Even after 20 years, it still hurts to see a dog in so much emotional pain, especially because it's completely unnecessary and to no fault of our own. Humans have failed this dog. I was not going to as well. Every movement I made seemed to intensify her unease. Her breathing was shallow and rapid. Her muscles remained coiled. It was clear that her fear had overtaken her ability to assess intentions. She saw everything and everyone as a potential threat. She didn't get vocal until I showed her the slip leash. And by her reaction, I could tell she had a very negative experience with a leash that had a loop. In an effort to connect, I offered her highly nutritious treats, placing them gently within her reach and speaking in a soft, reassuring tone. At first, she hesitated, her fear overpowering her curiosity, but her need for sustenance eventually won out, and she cautiously stretched toward the treat, taking it with trembling jaws. Now, this small breakthrough was a glimmer of light in an otherwise bleak situation, because most dogs that are this deep-rooted in fear don't use their nose, and they just simply won't take treats. I visited Hope several times as we coordinated her release. Hope wasn't just any dog. She was a soul on the brink of giving up. Her name felt like a cruel irony when I first learned about her. A dog on death row labeled aggressive and dangerous by everyone on shelter staff who encountered her. Their reports painted her as a ticking time bomb, unpredictable and violent. Her fate seemed sealed, but when I looked into her eyes, I didn't see rage or malice. I saw fear, deep, all-consuming fear. She was a dog who had never known kindness, never felt a gentle touch. To the world, she was a threat, but to me, she was a broken spirit crying for help. My heart ached for her. For the trauma she had endured at the hands of humans, I couldn't let her go without a fight. When I arrived to pick her up, they brought her out in a wagon, unconscious from her recent spay surgery, and we gently maneuvered her from the wagon to the back seat of my small two-door car. She was fitted with the plastic cone, a clumsy reminder of the recent ordeal, designed to prevent her from interfering with her stitches. I quickly put my slip leash around her neck. I wanted to ensure I could grab it as soon as we arrived home. I knew getting her out of this car was going to be a real challenge. Luckily, when we arrived home, she was still asleep, unconscious from the medication. So I was able to get everything lined up and ready with the leash and the back seat moved forward before I had to wake her to bring her out. I knew she was going to be in a panic state, and she had no idea what was about to happen. Once I got Hope out of the car, we spent 30 minutes just wandering up and down the driveway in the property. My goal was to tire her out before I tried to tackle bringing her inside and getting her into a crate. And due to her spay surgery, I had to be very aware of anything that would mess with her stitches or cause her pain. So everything I did had to be considerate of that condition. The first 24 hours in Hope's rehabilitation was going to be vital, especially due to her recent spay. I needed to know that if she had a medical emergency, I could physically handle her at the vet without concern of getting bit or her biting somebody else. So I had to work very hard at desensitizing her to physical touch within the first 24 hours. Mind you, I had a detailed plan in place before her arrival. Everything was already set up exactly how I was going to do it, what I was going to do, where it was going to be done. I even had backup plans in case something didn't work out or she didn't react a certain way. I knew how I was going to handle that. For example, I didn't know if she was dog aggressive, and I have other dogs at the house. So I had it set up that she was going to go into a room all by herself, away from the dogs while she was healing. Because I knew in the moment that she's coming in, she's under anesthesia, she's not feeling well due to the spay. This was not going to be a time to try to introduce her to other dogs. My pack was secured in the living room in their crates. That way I could bring her in nice and calmly. They were calm as we entered, and they can all smell each other. This was the safest way to bring her in, especially given her situation. Within our first 24 hours, I took her out every 2 hours, not only during the day, but all night as well. My goal was, for one, to get her used to coming in and out so she knew she was not stuck in the crate for long hours, but also because I needed to handle her as much as possible to help with the desensitization process. And then the other thing was to get her to go to the bathroom. A lot of times after they've had a spay surgery, it takes them a while for the medication to wear off that the dog will actually go to the bathroom. So I had to keep taking her out every couple of hours, just walking around, getting her to where she felt safe enough to go to the bathroom. Hope is one of the lucky ones because she was saved by a professional like myself. There are so many more dogs out there on death row that are being mislabeled that really could use the help of certified professional behaviorists and trainers to help the staff with assessments and understanding the difference between fear and aggression. Today, Hope is one of 10, and she's happy and she's free to just be a dog.